Welcome to the Football Exponential podcast. As usual, I'm Chika and I'm joined by Frank.
Chika. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the show. Thank you for joining us this beautiful day.
A very beautiful day. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last Premier League, the last club football game week before the international weekend. That's next
No,
week.
no, no. That's next week.
Oh,
there's still one round of games next week.
there's still one round of game next week. Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
thought.
there's Chelsea. There's a big Chelsea Arsenal on Sunday.
Oh, I thought next weekend
Fights.
was the friendly weekend. Though. I didn't know that.
No. There's Champions League this week. Then Chelsea Arsenal the weekend in a battle for top four between those two clubs right now.
Okay, let's quickly go with the first one. With if you are Maresca, will you be worried that Kopama has failed to score or is struggling? Today he missed his 100. He he missed the penalty, which is the first time he's missing in 12 games. Today was the 13th penalty consecutive penalty, and is a record in the Premier League. I didn't know Lampard didn't even score up to 12 straight penalties. It's a
Yeah.
record. So he
Yeah.
failed today, and he's been struggling. So are you worried if you're Enzo Maresca if you're Chelsea?
Uh, yes and no. I, in terms of, I feel, of course, the big issue is the fact that you have only Kopama is the guy leading the club in terms of goal scoring now that Jackson's been out. And when you have a guy whose goals have dried up for since January so far, it's um it's a bit worrying. But at the same time, it's also I still feel I won't say he's playing badly. He's getting the chances because even if there's a goal I think so 2 goals just scored a few weeks back, 2 own goals against West Ham and Brighton. Those were from Kopama's actions as well. So he didn't quite get the goal on the stat sheet, but he was fantastic in creating those goals. But I feel like we saw in the last Premier League game against Southampton, he got a handful of chances, and for some reason his finishing has just disappeared. I don't know if it's a confidence issue. I don't know if it can't be fatigue because he hasn't played enough. Hasn't played a lot of games. It can't be fatigue. So I just feel is in that moment where you're finding it tough, and especially for his personal development. This is an interesting point in his career. So of course, let's not forget since he burst onto the scene last season, it's been up for him. It's been flying high. Everything he touches turns to gold. This is the first moment in his professional career where he has to not really question himself because I still feel he's doing everything right, but he has to go back and say, okay, no, go back to basics. Okay, if I get chances, instead of trying to be cute with his finishing, just sometimes just hit the ball as hard as possible. Like today, the penalty, he tried to be he, not picky, but he tried to be cute about it. No, sometimes you just smash it down the middle sometimes, and you get that goal. But I feel it shouldn't be a big concern, but if it breaks it as soon as possible, but the longer it continues, the bigger worry becomes for Chelsea. Because let's not forget, this is Chelsea's form has nosedived since Jackson stopped scoring like a few months ago before his injury, and now Cole Palmer has also stopped scoring as well. So the team that lacks a lot of that shy on goals most times. I think it's quite important for them to get Kopama scoring again. But also on another point would be a bit. I know it's been a bit tough for Chelsea recently, but at the same time they've got some. I think they've won their last 3 games or 4 games at home, right? 4 games at home this so far. They've found other ways to get goals in the last few weeks. One player that stepped up really really well. Cucurella stepped up surprisingly with the goals. Neto has chipped in a bit. Enzo is chipping in a bit. So I feel, but if for Chelsea's aspirations, they need Kopama firing. If they can get Kopama back to anywhere near his best, Chelsea get top 4 easily. Even possibly even top 3 or top 2
Yeah,
in
yeah,
fact.
yeah. For me, I think for more context, he's failed to score or assist a goal in 7 straight Premier League games, right? Making it if you
Yeah,
add the Europa League game with FC
Conference League.
Copenhagen. Sorry, Conference League game with FC Copenhagen, it makes it 8, but Premier League 7. Jackson has been missing in 4 of those games. Jackson played in 3 of those games, and he has been missing for 4 of those games. I think what happened is
And
that He's been
And also just and sorry to question, just a bit of another point. His last Premier League goal was assisted by Jackson as well
yeah, Jackson. Yeah, yeah. I think uh,
against Bournemouth.
I think what has happened because even before the goal, you saw that in the second half he was off. I think he was found
Yeah,
out because less sample size. He just started. This is his second full season because the other one it was a not full season, but the first season, the second season he's been a starter. He was never a starter in Manchester City.
yeah, yeah.
So and that's why
This is
that's the reason I kept saying, in as much as I feel Kopama for some might be a better player, Saka was to me superior because Saka has done it
yeah,
over and over again. So this is the season Kopama has to change certain things because now people go into games and mark him. But right now,
yeah,
it's not because of they're playing better defense against him, it's because he's struggling with confidence. If you watch 3 or 4 of those games, you realize that he's better, but that has really affected his confidence. That's one. Then, secondly, if Jackson was around, I believe he might have at least even assisted. It is an
yeah.
indictment on this team a bit that they are not making the kind of runs Jackson makes when he's on the
No,
field.
no. I don't disagree because if you look at it, let's look at last three Premier League games off the top of my head. I can I can pick at least 5 or 6 moments, including today's penalty, where I could easily have left those 3 games with 6 goals minimum. So against Aston Villa a few weeks ago, against Southampton, he missed three chances in the first half, three clear cut chances in the first half. I think his XG on those chances missed were about 2 point something on the day. So it's not. I don't feel it's just
No,
in a bad name.
but
It's finding
you're
his.
talking about the misses he missed. What of the assists he could have gotten? You know, I was watching
Yeah,
today's game and I was watching today's game. If you watch today's game, if you see the way Neto sometimes leaves forward line to come deep, nobody makes any run. Nkunku
that's true.
at a
That's true.
point, Nkunku, you had Nkunku
Well,
and Sancho. At the point, I was asking myself, what are they doing on the field? They are not running
I
around.
agree.
Yesterday, I
I
was
agree.
watching
I agree.
some of the highlights of Golden State Warriors and Detroit Pistons. If you see the kind of runs Steph Curry was just or keeps making in games, you will marvel.
Yeah. Again, with Sancho and Nkunku, I agree with you on that point. They're
So
very.
I'm feeling that if Jackson was there, even if Jackson doesn't score, he opens up a chance for somebody else to be 1-on-one or something. So, in as much as Palmer is missing chances, it might also be that he's getting used to playing with people he was never used to playing because
That's true.
Nani was there, Jackson was there. Those two players, he was
That's true.
always starting with them. Now he's starting with
The misses.
Nkunku, starting with. But the good thing for Chelsea is that for the first time, I've looked at Enzo Fernandez. I'm like, there's a player in there because if you look
Yeah,
at how
yeah,
he chips in with goals, if you look at how he advances, so if he continues, if he keeps scoring, and also I've been impressed with Neto. Also, I think next season
yeah,
he will have a better season next season. I'm impressed with him
yeah,
and Cucurella.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But
But
as
yeah,
for Palmer as a player, I'm not worried about him. Even if he's going to reinvent himself, he's going to get better. He'll get used to it. But for
no,
Chelsea, it's a little problem.
yeah, no, but also I think this is the stage where some of the best players have gone through this stage in their careers. Well, I'm not quite sure how long their gold drought were, but we saw it in Hazard when he came young at Chelsea. We saw it Harry Kane after having a fantastic season. Can you then repeat it? And not just repeat it, but can you then be decisive in big games? And not just that, can you lead your team to honors, challenge for titles, win titles? So that's the step in. This is, I think, this is the burden that comes with a quote unquote great player, and this is a tag that a lot of people have bestowed upon Kopama in the last year or so. That is one of the best players in Premier League. Which I, like you said, I've always my point on that was always that with the numbers he put in last season,
Mm-hmm.
you have to put in that conversation. But I just feel ultimately I have to look at guys that have done it consistently, done it at the top of the table. Saka, Salah. That's the level Kopama needs to get in. You don't see Salah go in 6 games without a goal. I
Yeah.
don't think, well, except for one season where he was a bit overweight with Chelsea. But Hazard, I don't think Hazard went 6 games without a goal or assist. So this is the level you're trying to get to. If you're trying to be that guy in this team, Sometimes, and again, sometimes it's, let's not forget. We always forget. It's the thing, especially with young players, they bust onto the scene and we expect a lot from them. But sometimes this is just part and parcel of the game. Sometimes you need to go up, go down, find yourself, then go again. As long as it doesn't, as long as it keeps working hard, stays committed, the goals will come. I have no doubt about that. The goals will come.
And also, let's quickly go to the next one. The importance of today was Milos Kerkez assisted a brilliant
Yeah,
goal, and then he had a
oh, yeah,
very good game. And
yeah.
I don't see him staying long in
Is
Bournemouth.
yeah, yeah. Is I think right now he might be the most desirable left back in the football space right now. Because I see him as a player that can play in different styles. He can play as as a defensive fullback. He can play as an attacking fullback. I'm sure he can play in midfield if you need to. And I'm sure he can play as we've seen him play as a traditional
But
overlapping
we are yet
fullback.
to see the attacking side of his game. This is
No,
just a start.
but
This is
no,
just
I know. No,
he
no,
still
this
has
just
so
like
much level to go if you look at him.
I know, but also feel I feel it's more a tactical consideration the way Bournemouth use him. And I feel because I remember one game quite specifically, the game against earlier in the season when they played against Man City, where I'm not quite sure. I think he created one or two goals on that day, but he was fantastic he was fantastic with his attacking display. But again, I feel this is if Liverpool have the financial muscle, I think this is the player this should be their number one target this summer. Because this is the player that brings a lot of energy, pace. You see, like the way he receives the ball, his touching, his passing is just so spot on, and he plays with a lot of energy and courage. So it's a very that's one. But another player, another fullback that has impressed me this week specifically, more so this season as well. But this week specifically has been Cucurella on Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think I think we're finally seeing the guy that Chelsea spent all that money for, or the idea in the player Chelsea spent all that money for, where it's not just it's not just the goals he's scoring, but I feel whenever he's not on the pitch for Chelsea, he's just a considerably weaker team without him. Because he plays with so much intensity, he plays with so much courage, bravery. He's always because I was at the Chelsea Copenhagen game, and Chelsea were not quite good in the first. Well, they were not good in the first half. But in the
Mhm.
first 20, 30, they were not good. Then he came off the bench a bit halfway through the first half. Then in the second half was flying as an attacking left back. But you see how the first goal Chelsea scored the day is down to his pressing, his understanding of space, understanding of when to attack the position, win the ball back, and just lay off a fantastic pass for Rich James to finish expertly. And again today we see him finishing like one of Chelsea's past wing backs, Marcos Alonso, but the goal he
Mhm.
scored today was a very good
Yeah,
finish.
yeah,
And this is a guy that can play. You see him playing as a defensive fullback and attacking fullback. Sometimes he's playing as a number 10, he's in the box. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. But another one that I feel is Ola Anya on Nottingham Forest.
yeah.
And and with his contract situation, I believe he should be on a lot of clubs shopping
And
list
people
this
don't
window.
know in all these players you
Next window.
mentioned, people don't know. No, yeah, Correa had a similar story. People don't know what Olai now went through
Yeah, it's been tough.
because
It's
I
been
remember seeing him for Chelsea. With what it was Conte. He played in the FA Cup. Victor Moses
yeah.
was there. He went to Torino. He's moved around. Which other club did he play for Fulham?
No, it was in Fulham for a bit. He was on loan in the Championship for as well in that stage. But again, this is a player like his journey is quite similar to another to his fellow countryman Ademola Lookman, a player
Yeah,
that bounced around a few Premier League clubs. Then he's found a home in Torino in Italy. He mastered the role of an attacking wing back in a 3-5-2 formation, both on the left and the right side. Then he's come back to the Premier League, but he's established himself this season and last season as not only in terms of his fitness and his performances, but a very strong fullback. Not just attacking, but even he's a shutdown fullback. He's one of the best defensive fullbacks right now in the Premier League, in my opinion. And we saw his skill and his defensive awareness this past weekend in the win against Man City, and how he was able to not quite to keep quiet Doku and Savinho
But do you
It's
know?
very more Messi-like.
Do you know who reminds me of in the Premier League of recent? And when the
Who?
game against City, I reminded me so much of Kyle Walker, where he positions, not the playing style, where he positions on the field. He's a
Yeah,
fullback, but he's a fullback. If you look at the formation when they bring out on paper, but he
yeah,
positions himself as a wing back, way far ahead on the field.
yeah,
Not many
yeah,
fullbacks go all that, and he has the pace. Not sometimes he doesn't recover, very few times, but he's so quick that he has the pace to recover behind, and that
yeah,
nullifies any attacker who wants to come forward. And that is very. If I'm them, I'm paying him anything he wants. I'm not letting,
yeah,
because to get somebody to play that position, he's very important for that system they play.
yeah.
Because to get
Exactly.
somebody to play that system is going to be very difficult for them.
Yeah, it's been. I think he'll be in conversations for the Premier League team of the season. At the end of the year, but I feel he's been so solid. And you like compare that to what Man City have on the day. Rico Lewis was on. He came on as a right back, but he started off with Nunes,
No.
the 15 million pound midfielder turned right back, and you see the golf quality right there, and especially for a guy like Pep, he built his Man City success on strong fullbacks, Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy, even Fabian Delph for a time as well, Cancelo, those kind of guys. I feel this is a guy that can improve a lot of Premier League teams right now, not just in Premier League, but a lot of teams on the continent as well. It seems, bear with me, guys. It seems we're having technical issues. I've lost my partner in crime. Well, since
Hello? I don't the
oh,
record already.
uh,
Leads